All right, welcome to this explainer. Today, we are going to completely demystify AutoCAD's hatch command. If you've spent any time drafting, you know for a fact that hatching can sometimes be a massive headache. We're talking patterns that just won't show up, boundaries that absolutely refuse to close, or files that suddenly start lagging. But today, we're going to transform hatching from a total frustration into your absolute most powerful tool for professional design communication. So let's just dive right in.
We've got a really great roadmap ahead of us today. We'll be looking at 1. Why hatch patterns matter. 2. Key patterns and settings. 3. A step-by-step hatching guide. 4. Best practices for pro hatching. And finally, 5. Fixing common hatch problems.
So let's jump right into part 1, why hatch patterns matter. At its core, hatching is just the process of filling in an enclosed space. But functionally, it's how you breathe texture and life into a wireframe skeleton. Instead of cluttering up your drawing with 1,000 text callouts saying, hey, this is concrete or this is brick, hatching literally does that heavy lifting for you instantly.
A brilliant drawing allows anyone, a client, a contractor, an engineer, to instantly identify those materials. Whether it's the insulation inside a wall, the timber of a floor, or a steel beam, hatching transforms this confusing web of intersecting lines into a plan that is universally understood. And consistent patterns mean consistent documentation across all your sections, elevations, and details. Now that we know exactly why they matter, let's open up the toolkit. Moving to part 2, key patterns and settings.
AutoCAD actually comes loaded with predefined patterns meant to represent real-world materials. You've got ANSI 31, that gives you those classic diagonal parallel lines, which is perfect for general sections. AR-CONC uses these irregular little shapes and dots for concrete. AR-BRSTD is your standard brickwork. Earth represents soil. And of course, solid completely fills an area when you just need to highlight specific rooms or structural zones. The takeaway here, you don't just pick a pattern because it looks pretty. You pick it because it communicates reality.
But hey, picking the pattern is really only half the battle. You got to dial in those settings. Scale is massive here. It controls the density of your pattern. A small scale makes it super dense, a large scale spaces it out. Angle lets you change the direction of the pattern, which is an awesome trick for distinguishing two adjacent components made of the exact same material. Transparency helps keep your annotations readable. And island detection, that tells AutoCAD exactly what to do with a closed area inside your boundary, like a structural column sitting smack in the middle of a room you're trying to hatch.
Now, arguably, your absolute most crucial setting is associativity. An associative hatch maintains a relationship with its boundary. If you stretch a room or move a wall, the hatch automatically stretches to fit that new shape. On the flip side, a non-associative hatch is static. It just sits there, completely ignoring your design revisions, leaving a broken pattern on your screen. Take my word for it. Always go with associative when your design is likely to evolve.
All right, let's see how this all builds into actual execution. Part 3, our step-by-step hatching guide.
If you follow these exact 6 steps, you're going to ensure clean, professional results every single time. First, you must have a completely closed boundary, no gaps. Second, create and switch to a dedicated hatch layer, maybe call it a hatch. This is vital for managing visibility later on. Third, fire up the hatch command. You can use pick points to click inside an area or select objects for manual control. Fourth, dial in your pattern, scale, and angle. Fifth, ensure that associative box is checked and look at the live preview. Does it look right? Cool. Step 6, just hit enter to lock it in. And don't worry if you didn't get it perfect on the very first click. If you ever need to change a pattern, tweak the scale, or rotate the angle after the fact, simply select the hatch object and type hatch edit. Boom, it opens all those properties right back up for you without you having to start from scratch.
Okay, to make you feel like a total insider, let's jump to part 4, best practices for pro hatching.
These pro tips are exactly what separate a messy amateur drawing from a universally understood professional document. Like we mentioned, always use that dedicated layer. Follow your organization's CAD standards so your steel pattern looks the same as everyone else's. Keep your pattern simple. Seriously, overly complex hatches will completely tank your computer's performance. And crucially, verify how it looks in the plot preview at the final printing scale. A hatch might look awesome on your monitor, but print out as a giant black blob. Finally, if you have a lot going on, include a hatch legend so the contractor isn't left guessing what your patterns mean.
Here's a quick pro tip regarding presentation. If your beautiful new hatch is hiding your critical dimensions, text, or furniture, simply select the hatch, type the draw order command, and hit send to back.
It literally instantly pushes the pattern behind your annotations, keeping the whole drawing super legible.
Now I need to give you a quick, very serious warning here. Stop what you're doing and listen. Never, ever explode a hatch unnecessarily. Exploding it takes that single manageable hatch object and shatters it into thousands of individual separate lines. It makes editing a total nightmare and massively bloats your file size. Unless you have a highly specific, unavoidable technical reason, just leave it as a single object.
All right, finally, let's tackle the rescue mission. Part 5, Fixing Common Hatch Problems.
We have absolutely all been there. You set up your boundary, you click to hatch, and literally nothing happens. The space just looks totally empty. When a hatch pattern is invisible, it usually means your scale is completely out of whack.
If you can't see the pattern, it might be scaled so small that it looks like a solid block, or scaled so massive that the lines are spaced further apart than the actual walls of your room. Use Hatchet and gently adjust the scale up or down. Also, do a quick sanity check. Is your hatch color exactly the same as your background color? Is your hatch layer frozen? Definitely rule those out first.
Okay, this next one is easily the most common and most frustrating error message in the software. AutoCAD just flat out refuses to hatch and says it can't find a closed boundary. This happens when the software detects microscopic gaps in your line work. Or, interestingly enough, when part of the boundary you're trying to hatch is currently zoomed off-screen.
To solve this, your very first step is simply zooming out so the whole shape is visible on your monitor. Then try it again. If that fails, you need to hunt down the leak. Zoom into your corners and fix any sloppy line work using trim, extend, or by utilizing your object snaps to lock endpoints together. Now, if you are in a massive rush and absolutely must force it, you can increase the gap tolerance setting. By default, it's 0, expecting perfection. Increasing it tells AutoCAD to temporarily ignore tiny gaps. But remember, this is a last resort. It doesn't replace accurate drafting.
What about when you drag a wall or stretch a room and your hatch just sits there, completely left behind in the old shape? Well, if this happens, you've lost your associativity. The link between the boundary and the pattern is officially broken.
Honestly, the fastest and best fix here is not to try and repair it. Simply delete the broken static hatch. Double-check that your new boundary objects are fully connected, and just recreate the hatch, making absolutely sure the associative option is checked this time around. It'll stay glued to your line work moving forward.
I want to bring up this brilliant insight straight from our source material today. The hatch should explain the construction rather than dominate the drawing. Hatching is all about clarity, you guys, not decoration. A drawing with massive, solid black fills or crazy, dense, distracting patterns actually hides the technical details you worked so hard to draw.
So, as we wrap up this explainer and you jump into your next project, ask yourself, are your current hatch patterns truly helping the builder understand the materials, or are they just adding digital noise to the page? It might just be time to refine your technique, clean up those boundaries, and let the drawing speak for itself.